Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Thank you, Matthew. It is Monday. It's a brand new week full of possibilities, opportunities, and a chance to make it your best week yet. Very, very fun weekend. I wanted to mention quickly pickleball. I did play pickleball on Friday. I love it. I think it's going to be something that I hopefully do often. I told my husband, we're going to start playing pickleball, and he's like, all right. I don't think he meant that he's going to play. He's going to come up with, oh, it hurts my neck. Oh, it hurts my back. Here's the problem with pickleball. It's not really good to play in windy conditions, and it is always windy here at the Jersey Shore. So even when we played on Friday, it was a little bit on the windy side, and it was funny because we started out on the side that was going into the wind. So I started out like really hauling the ball over to try and get it over the net to the other side. And then when we switched, I started hauling the ball over, and it went like way beyond the course. So you kind of have to adjust, and that's why you switch sides and stuff to keep it fair for all teams and all people who are playing. So it's very interesting. I'm looking forward to the next time we play. Was hoping to get in another run over the weekend, but it was extremely windy conditions all weekend long, so nobody got together to play. Looking like a rainy, windy week coming up for us here at the Jersey Shore. That is okay. I need to get some work done anyway. All of these fun activities distracting me from my work. My website. I wanted to tell you about my website. It's almost ready to launch, people. I'm very excited about my website. I have to give props to my friend Anastasia, who has hooked me up. I basically made her a contributor to the website, and she's basically done everything. I mean, she's just a whirlwind at this. I gave her the, admin privileges, and within an hour, she had, set almost everything up. It's insane. So she said it probably would take about another week before we can actually launch the website, but it's looking good. Got my website almost ready to go. Got my business cards, which are so beautiful. And I was passing them out all weekend long. So very excited. Things are coming along for the Hopefulist. And we'll see how it goes. I got my fingers crossed. I think things are going well. I'm very excited. So over the weekend, Joe and I went to a fishing tournament fish fry. This was in Harvey Cedars on Long Beach Island at the High Point Volunteer Fire Company, which is a little bit like a little section of Harvey Cedars. They have these tournaments quite often in the area that I live, shockingly, fishing tournaments at the beach. Who would have thunk it? So what they usually do is, the guys go out and fish. The guys and gals go out to fish. I apologize. There are plenty of women that do it. It is still predominantly a male sport, but there are women who do enjoy fishing and go out in these tournaments. So depending on who's putting it on, some of them are all weekend, some of them are just one day. I think you can start fishing around, again, depending on the tournament, around midnight, so people get up really early, they head out, they have a whole day, usually weigh-ins by like 5 o'clock or something, so you have to be back off the boat at the weigh-in station by a certain time. And so everybody gets weighed in, then they have a fish fry. It includes all the food, lots of fish. They had some scallops. They had all kinds of salads, pasta salad, potato salad, coleslaw, all that kind of good stuff. What else did they have? Burgers, dogs. It was a lot of food. Beer was included. They had my Michelob Ultra. Shockingly, nobody carries that. So I was very happy about that. Might have had a little too much because they had my beer. But that's okay. So they also had a silent auction. Silent auction, you buy the tickets and then you just put them in the little bin for the prizes that you would like to win. They were selling them, a certain amount for a certain amount of money, or an arm's length for a certain amount of money. And since Joe is 6'4" and super tall and has extremely long arms, as we were looking over the prizes to see if we wanted to buy tickets, somebody's like, you better make sure he gets the arm's length because his arms are much longer than yours. I'm like, good call. Good call. So we got our arm's length, and I saw a basket that I really wanted. What I really wanted in this basket was a candle holder that had like a little bit of nautical rope around it, and then a starfish, because I am a starfish freak. And that's all I really wanted. And then I found out later, we looked, it was bought at Bed Bath & Beyond for $5.99. I'm like, I could have just gone and bought the candle holder. But it also had like a really cool picture that you hang on the wall of a mermaid reaching out for a starfish. Again, starfish themed. Had 2 bottles of wine. It had some of those melamine dishes, which I just started getting a couple of those. Some friends bought some for me. And at first when they came out, I was like, I'm not crazy about these. But you know what? They really are perfect for outside on the deck and all that. So it had some full-size dishes of that. It had some really nice kitchen towels. What else did it have? A cheese plate, really nice cheese plate, and a gift certificate to one of the local restaurants around here that we love. It's like actually 4 to choose from, and 2 of them we go to quite often. So guess what? I won the basket. Now, granted, I put a lot of tickets in that bin, but I've never won these things ever, and I just couldn't believe that not only did I win something, because we put tickets in other baskets, but I won the exact one that I wanted. I think my luck is changing, people. See, being a hopefulist pays off. It's a good basket. I won a lot of stuff. I'm very excited. Even the basket itself is pretty cool. Just got to find a place to put that now. So it was a really good weekend. I ran into a ton of people that I haven't seen in years. I don't know how closely you pay attention, but I've talked in the past about all the different groups of friends I've had on LBI through the years. And I've mentioned my pool buddies, and it was 2 guys and my friend Lauren, who has now moved away to California, and me. So it was the 4 of us. We would go out every Tuesday and Thursday back in the day when I lived here the first time and play pool. And we just had such a blast. We did this for a good couple of years. It was the thing that we did. And I ran into the 2 guys that I used to play pool with. Now, Mark, I didn't know was in the area again. I knew he had moved to the Poconos, and apparently he's been coming back down here to work during the week, and him and Kevin are still in touch. And Kevin was my other pool buddy, and they got together to do the tournament. So I hadn't seen them in years and years and years, and it was like a little homecoming, and it was just fun. I was way more excited to see them than they were to see me. I'm like, thanks for all the excitement to run into me, guys. But, they're those, laid back. In fact, I couldn't even get Kevin to smile. I made them pose for a picture, and Kevin's like, I'm like, oh, okay, grumpy old man. Thanks for being so happy to be in my picture. But I loved running into them. It was a lot of fun to see them. We rehashed some old times. I saw Mark's kids who always been very kind to me. So it was a great weekend. We had a lot of fun. And a lot of my friends were there, other than the ones that I ran into. So it was really a great time. Robocalls. We talked about robocalls last week. Apple said that they're going to, in their next update, make it so that if you're receiving a call that is not in either your emails, your contacts, or your phone list, that they will send it directly to voicemail. I think it may already be in play, because here's what happened. Joe and I both received a phone call from the same company. It's a medical manufacturer. It had something to do with it. He needed from the insurance company. And they called, but the phone never rang. It never registered a call, but yet I got an alert letting me know there was a voicemail. So when I listened to the voicemail, I heard it was from this medical company, and I told Joe that he needed to call them when he got home from work. And I had said, I don't know why they called me. They should have called you. And then later he was like, you know what? They did call me. But again, didn't ring his phone, didn't register a call, but yet got a voicemail. I don't know why this is already in play. It's supposed to be coming out with the update of 13, which I just did an update of 12.3, I think. So, but it seems to be already in play. Bravo. I love it. I hope it continues. It's awesome. So I have a game night tonight with the girls in the hood. And the way game night works is whoever the host is gets to pick the game that they want to play. So we are going to Maureen's house tonight, and I'm not sure what she's going to play yet, but the last game night, I've only been to one game night so far. I jumped on the game night bandwagon a little late. So last month was my first time, and we played the game Heads Up, the Ellen game Heads Up, but it was a board game rather than the actual app. So that was fun. We had a good time with that. And I'm not sure what we're going to play tonight. I'm still mulling over. I will be hosting in August, so 2 more months. I had automatically thought that I was going to play this game Buzzword, which is so fun. And I probably will end up playing that. I do like Cards Against Humanity. I'm not sure about playing it with this group of ladies, though, because, we don't. It's actually a good way to get to know each other, I guess. But you kind of really have to know people to win at Cards Against Humanity, I think. So when I was down the shore last weekend for Girls Weekend, we had played a game. I think it was called Most Likely. Who's Most Likely? And then, the cards had a description on them. It was kind of like Cards Against Humanity, but just a little bit of a different play on it. Like, they had voted me, when the subject card would come up, I think the first card is a total flirt. So whoever's the person reading the card that time gets to make the decision of who they think is the biggest flirt. But everybody gets the chance to make their case. They go around the room, and you're supposed to not want the cards. So you're not supposed to talk about yourself, because the person who gets the most cards first loses. So I just cleared my throat. Marcy told me I needed to stop apologizing for everything, so I will not apologize for clearing my throat. Take that, people. That's right. I did it. I'm going to keep doing it. Okay, back to my story. And so when you get to your turn, you're not supposed to want to take the card for yourself or whatever. You're supposed to make the plea for other people. So they had voted me a total flirt, a good street performer, and wants to be Insta-famous. Yeah, I don't know about the street performer part, but the Insta-famous, I literally, as soon as she read that was the description, I just put my head down, and they all just looked at me and went, Wendy. Okay, I get it. So that is the new game that I discovered, and I did really enjoy that. And it was a great way to get to know each other, especially if you don't know a lot of people, because people would describe why they thought you were whatever the category was. And you kind of get to know people a little bit better in that way. So I put as my topic yesterday, what is your favorite game to play with a group of people? Every time I go on my Facebook page for to check out my notifications, they change the settings. So it's really annoying because it takes me longer and longer each time to find it. So I had asked, what is your favorite game to play with a group? Linda says Uno. Anne says Cards Against Humanity. We had another card. Lisa also says Cards Against Humanity. Now, John says Apples to Apples with the Family. I have played that game. It's fun. And then he says 3-man with drinking adults. I asked him what that was. He said, all right, listen carefully. It's a little bit of a long description. You gather around a table, roll a pair of dice. The person that is 3-man has to drink every time a 3 is rolled. Roll a 4, and the person to your right drinks. Roll a 6, the person to your left drinks. Roll a 7, everybody drinks. So the only way you can pass the roll is if you roll a 9. Sounds very complicated, John. Jim says Boulder Dash. It's a BSing game, so he's very good at it. I know, Jim. I will agree. Marcy says Scattergories. I was a big Scattergories fan for a long